we're back for episode 3 of the Afterburner. Yeah, if you thought they gave us a second episode, well, we're astounded that they gave us a third episode, so here we go. Last week, the Powassan Voodoos fell 5-2 to the Hearst Lumberjacks, looking to bounce back from that game. They did get a big win the next night in Espanola against the Express, and again, they extend their winning streak now to 2 games here after a hard-fought 3-2 victory over the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners. The heated rivalry that is the Gold Miners and Voodoos has taken us through some twists and turns this season, but the Voodoos getting the better edge of this rivalry here tonight. Again, 3-2 shootout victory against the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners, and we'll take you right into the highlights right now.
Oh, they scored right off the face-off. Take a 1-0 lead. Check there by Noodle. Gets a hold of it right on the front. Scott! Set goal! Boy, you can off the stick of Scott. Boy, that's all Max Noodle to that goal. Good hard forecheck. Wagner. Dougal tried to take his man out. He just filled in from behind. And here we go. Jones is going to go, and here goes McDougal. McDougal beating him one. Gets another one. Down he goes. Eric Allaire with the puck. Nice new pass. Here goes Whitted. You know the blue line. Whitted. Shot. Goal! Joe Whitted! Puts it ahead 2-1. What a goal! Oh, baby! Right on in front. Shot. Scores! Deflection. Bone. Dump it in off the boards. Oh, right off there. Oh, and they had 2 chances at it. For Kirkland, number 20, Joshua Main. Here comes Main. Down, going in. Shot go, scores. You're going to put it to the 5-hole. So Martone's going to shoot for Powassan. Go in. In. He scores! Nice goal! Beautiful goal by Martone. Kachi over the line. Kachi going in. And he missed the net. Going down. A little bit of swiveling around. Shoots! He scores! Rico Rossi! Kirkland's got to score here. Broussard going in. Saved by Verbenic, and Powassan wins the game in the shootout. Powassan gets the extra point. They skate away with the shootout win.
Wow, weren't those some exciting highlights of this game? Again, the Powassan Voodoos winning 3-2 over the Gold Miners in a heated shootout victory. And now we're going to take things over to the other side of the rink, where Jordan Pearce is going to give you some great stats. And again, talk about how tall Joe Verbenic stood in this game for the Voodoos.
Thank you, Kortney. The Powassan Voodoos beat the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners 5-2 tonight. Cade Hurd got honored with 140 points before the game, as he's the first Voodoo to hit that mark in the 5 years of their existence. The Powassan Voodoos have 58 points now after the game is over, sitting in 5th place in the East. Kirkland is 61, sitting 4th. And lastly, Joe Verbenic had a 46 save performance, backstopping the Voodoos to the 3-2 win. Now to our ace of the game.
I'm pleased to be joined by number 16, Seiji Martone, who had a filthy shootout move. And Seiji, take us through what was going through your head going down the ice.
Well, I don't know. I actually, before I shot, I went up to Cheech and I kind of asked him what he saw and what he thinks I should do. And he said, try and open him up and put it between his legs. So that's what I did.
Now, your head coach, Max Gavin, was saying he's been watching you in practice as you guys work at the shootout moves a little bit, and it seems to be something that's working for you in practice. Is that something that you emphasize on during practice yourself?
No, well, I think I just I just like watching them like in the NHL and stuff, and I kind of just watch what they like their moves and stuff and what the goalies tend to do. And I don't know, I think I'm pretty good at just reading a goalie's weakness and stuff and where I should go. And yep.
So does that mean that you're pro shootout, or do you want to see the game end in overtime?
I mean, honestly, I would have been pretty happy if Henry would have buried that one at the end, but it's obviously a pretty good feeling to score in a shootout, no matter, I mean, who you're playing against, I guess. But yeah, I mean, a win's a win, no matter if it's overtime or shootout, just as long as we get the W, I guess.
Now, your general manager, Chris Dawson, did mention to me that this is the first shootout win for the Powassan Voodoos in franchise history, and to really get essentially the shootout winner with the first goal, because they didn't score a single goal in the shootout. How does that feel to be part of history of this team?
It feels pretty good, I guess, but it's pretty hard to believe because I know they're such a winning organization and stuff. So, I mean, obviously, I wasn't really thinking about that as I shot. I just wanted to score and get the W for the team. So, yeah, it feels pretty cool, I guess.
Now, we'll look at your season as a whole. You start the season with the Cochrane Crunch, and then you get traded away, and then you're brought back into the league by the Voodoos. And just take us through the whirlwind that is being traded between leagues and finally finding yourself back in the NOJHL.
Well, it was definitely surprising to get a call from Coach and Chris Dawson saying, you know, we're interested in bringing you in. Would you report and stuff? And I mean, coming to an organization like this that's you know, won so much and stuff, I couldn't pass it up. So I mean, I couldn't be happier to be here, to be honest.
All right, thanks for the Seiji.
No problem.
And that's Seiji Martone, the shootout winner for the first ever Powassan Voodoos shootout victory. I'm pleased to be joined by the general manager of the Powassan Voodoos, Chris Dawson. And Chris, a great win here tonight for the Powassan Voodoos over the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners.
Yeah, you know, first ever shootout, because, I mean, for the first number of years, 4 years, we always went 4-on-4, 3-on-3 overtime, or a tie. So, you know, I'm not a big fan of the shootout, but today I'll say that I was a fan to see, you know, Seiji made a, you know, real nice move on Dawson Rodin, who's one of the best goalies in the league. And then, you know, Rico came up real clutch. And what else can you say about Joe Verbetic? He was fantastic tonight overall, not just in the shootout, stopping 2 of 3 shooters, but 46 save performance. So he was the star of the game, and he was number 1 for a reason.
Now, I want to go back to 2 of those players that you just mentioned, it being Seiji and Rico, and those are 2 players that you've brought in mid-season. What really goes into the anatomy of a trade like to bring those guys in and know that these guys are going to help the team?
Well, I mean, you know, it's a lot of work with, you know, we have a small staff, but, you know, we went on a recruiting trip in the summer, ended up talking to Rico Rossi and to see if he wanted to come as actually part of a trade to come up here when Harrison Israels was moved down to Oakville, but that didn't work out. But Rico, we kept in touch with you know, him and the team he was with, and then when we found out that he was available in Newmarket, we talked to Rico, and you know, he was interested in coming up here. And you know, it took a little while, but certainly kind of showing, you know, his dad played professionally in Europe, and he coaches over there, and you know, I think that, you know, he brings a lot more experience on this young team. I think he and you know, he's come up with some real key goals for us, especially the first weekend after Christmas on that Western Road swing. I think he scored 2 third-period tying goals, and you know, so he's played a big role. And you know, Seiji's a kid that, you know, give credit to, you know, I mean, we've made deals with Ryan Leonard before, and the one thing you always know about players that Ryan Leonard gets, Ryan is a very good recruiter, maybe the best in the league. So, you know, when a guy's played for the Crunch, you know that he's a quality player. So, you know what? We really enjoyed watching Seiji. I know you got to see him a little bit working in Cochrane, how good he was, and you know, I think he was a physical older player that we wanted to bring at the deadline, and you know, very happy with the way both of them have played so far this season.
Now, just curious as to, you did this job with the Trappers, and now you're doing it with the Voodoos. How did you even throw your hat in the ring of becoming a general manager of a junior A team?
Well, you know, really, I started out with the Temiskaming Royals in the NOJHL and helped out Steve McCharles back when that team moved from the Outlaw League to the NOJHL for a couple of seasons, and then, you know, Tim Clayton got in touch with me and
and wanted to move back to the north, and after working in the OJ, and so I kind of took over the president and eventually the general manager role with the Trappers. So it was just something that I came into. I know when Steve first was interested in asking me if I was interested, he saw the success that I was part of a real good core group of people that helped make Hockeyville, and really that was kind of my stepping stone. People thought, hey, he's a pretty good hockey guy, helped North Bay win Hockeyville. So Steve asked me if I wanted to become part of his team, and I've enjoyed it ever since, and really haven't stopped. And it's almost 10 years now.
All right, thanks for this interview, Chris. It's always a pleasure talking hockey with you.
Excellent. Nice talking to you too, Kortney.
That's, again, General Manager of the Voodoos, Chris Dawson, here on the Afterburner. Again, a huge thank you to Seiji and Chris for joining us on episode 3 of the Afterburner. Again, another thank you to Jordan for bringing us all the stats, and to cameraman Mike, who keeps things running smoothly behind the scenes. We are changing up our format ever so slightly on the Afterburner. We're moving now to a weekly format, and you'll find us Wednesdays at 11 o'clock on this YouTube channel. And the next Powassan Voodoos game comes up next Friday. The Timmins Rock come to town to face off against the Voodoos in another divisional matchup. The Voodoos picked up a win against the Rock the last time the Rock were in town, and it's a potential playoff series coming our way as well. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the Afterburner.